And on YouTube, Beatrice Carraro was asking about the weather in January because she's planning a trip in January 2019. So she wants to know, what's the weather like? Yeah. The weather in New Zealand in January is usually all over the place, but we'll go through a few locations, a few things, so you guys know a little bit more about the weather here. Now, temperature-wise, the temperature in January in New Zealand is usually between 12 to 30 degrees Celsius. That is between 53 and 86 degrees Fahrenheit. Whew. So that's for the average temperature. Now, I'm going to give you a few places and a few temperatures. Again, on BackpackerGuide.NZ, we have a beautiful article saying New Zealand weather in January. Sorry about that. So make sure you check it out. Now, quickly.
So while he's just finding that, yeah. just to make it clear, in New Zealand, the temperatures and the climate are quite different around the country. So up here in the north, because it's closer to the equator, that's where you get your more subtropical climate. Yeah. So it's going to be always warmer than the rest of the country. And then in the south of the South Island, that's where it's going to be the coldest. You've got the mountain range of the Southern Alps in the middle of the South Island. So that is also going to be one of the coldest areas of New Zealand. So that is very different across the country. So if you're thinking about what is the typical temperature, you really need to ask yourself actually which parts of the country am I traveling to and what's the temperature going to be like there.
And all right, speaking of that, we're going to be doing different regions, different temperature. We're going to go rather quickly because, you know, we're not going to be dwelling forever, but yeah, bear with us. Okay, northern New Zealand, Northland, Auckland and Tauranga is usually about 20 degrees Celsius, which is 68 Fahrenheit. Central North Island, Central North Island right here around this, so that's Hamilton, Taupo and Motura. That's 18 degrees Celsius, 64 Fahrenheit. Southwest North Island, that's New Plymouth, Palmerston North and Wellington, 18 degrees Celsius, 64 Fahrenheit. Eastern North Island, Gisborne, Napier and Wairarapa. It's, there's a typo on the website. Guys, by the way, if you find typo on BackpackerGuide.NZ, email us. Sometimes that happens. So this will be 20 degrees Celsius and 68 Fahrenheit. Northern South Island, that's Blenheim, Nelson, that will be 18 to 64. Western South Island, that's Westport, Hokitika and Milford Sound, that will be 16 Celsius, 59 Fahrenheit. Eastern South Island, Kaikoura, Christchurch and Timaru, 16 Celsius, 61 Fahrenheit. Inland South Island, that's Lake Tekapo, Queenstown, Alexandra, Wanaka, that's between 14 and 18 Celsius, that's 57, 64 Fahrenheit. And southern New Zealand, that's Dunedin, Invercargill, Stewart Island, that's 14 Celsius, 57 Fahrenheit. Nice, I hope this helps. Now the sunrise usually in January, keep it, we're gonna need it.
Oh, yeah.
The sunrise usually in January is around 6 a.m. and the sunset usually 9 p.m. And for rain, it ranges between 30 millimeters to 90 millimeters. With here is a few rainfalls as well, so you guys know where you are. So the weather is usually better in Northland, but it does rain a lot as well. But it's very quick showers, so don't be afraid. Although it's the maximum rain you can get, which is 90 millimeters around this area right here. It is not necessarily the worst weather. I know it sounds silly to say, but that's what it is. Central North Island will be 80 millimeters. Can you point? You point at every time I say, so it's easier. 80 millimeters. Southwest North Island will be 70 millimeters. Eastern North Island will be 50 millimeters. Northern South Island 70 millimeters. Northern South Island 70 millimeters. Western South Island, now it's the west coast of New Zealand. Sit, hold on tight. Between 180 and 700 millimeters.
Yeah.
It does rain a lot on the west coast.
This is the rainiest part of New Zealand, right here.
But it's one of the most beautiful. So Eastern South Island, that's Kaikoura and everything, is 40 millimeters. So that's around here. Lake Tekapo, so inland South Island, that will be more 30 millimeters, and southern New Zealand, southern is 70 millimeters. Whew, that's a lot.
It's a lot of rain.
Now, keeping on with January, what are your best places to visit, Laura, in January in New Zealand?
Well, let's see what I said on the website. So yeah, one good place to go is Northland, because it is one of the sunniest and warmest places in New Zealand. So it's full of lots of beaches and stuff. So if you're really into going to the coast, going for a swim and having that sort of beachy holiday vibe, then Northland is a really awesome place to go. Gisborne is a really awesome place to go as well. Again, that has lots of really beautiful coastline to go and check out. Also, they have lots of vineyards, and just sort of having a wine in the sun is a pretty nice way to spend summer and spend January. For January, bearing in mind January is actually part of the peak season in New Zealand, meaning it's like the busiest time for tourism. So if you're looking to get a little bit off the beaten track and get away from the tourist crowds, then a good place to go would be Taranaki, which is on the west coast of the North Island, and they have a beautiful national park over there called the Egmont National Park, and there's lots of hikes and stuff you can do around there. There's some really awesome cities like New Plymouth with, again, lots of beautiful coastline and beaches. So that would be a good place to go if you want to escape the tourist crowds.
Yeah, and for me, I like Waiheke Island. In January, it's kind of the wine mecca of Auckland, and it's really cool in January. The weather is great. It's a good time out, and obviously the Nelson Lake National Park. It's nearby Abel Tasman National Park as well. So there is a lot of that kind of summery vibe. It's a great hotspot for January for summer holidays in New Zealand. And now to wrap it up, because the next question usually when people ask us about the weather is, what do I need to pack when I come to New Zealand in January? We'll go very quickly through a list of what you need to pack in January when coming in. You don't want the list?
No, I was already reading it before.
Okay, cool. Go for it then.
So the number one thing you need to pack is high factor sunscreen. The UV levels in New Zealand, and especially in January because it's the middle of summer, it's super high. So whenever you go outdoors, even on a cloudy day, make sure that you are wearing and reapplying high factor sunscreen. Another thing that you need to probably have, especially if you're traveling around the South Island on the west coast, is insect repellent, because these little black flies called sandflies, they are pretty abundant at this time of year, and they leave a really itchy and nasty bite after you. So yeah, that insect repellent is definitely a must as well. Obviously, other ways to protect yourself from the sun, so a sun hat, a cap, things like that, sunglasses. Probably bring some swimwear, otherwise known as togs in New Zealand, because there's obviously lots of opportunities to go swimming. But one last thing, make sure you have a rain jacket, because no matter what time of year in New Zealand, it can rain at any time. So you'll probably be very thankful if you bring a rain jacket. Yeah,
hiking shoes, obviously, because most people coming to New Zealand want to experience a great outdoor. And make sure you bring layers. So you're going for layers rather than one really big, thick, heavy jacket. So a couple of merino wool layers, so you can take it off, take it, put it on, and everything is going to be so much easier.
Yeah.
All right, that's our take on the weather in January. For those of you guys which are planning your trip in January 2019, we have your back. We have all the information for you guys, so make sure to join us in at some point. Make sure that also you like and do anything to this video that is social enough. So like, comment below if you have any extra questions, because we do this every single week. So yeah, so as we will post videos, we go through the comments and we check out what you guys are asking us, so we can do that live.